Hi Gary, how are you?
Hi Girish, fine, thank you. Thank you for having me here today.
Thanks for coming to set up the whole thing.
Pleasure.
So it's the first time we have like proper equipment for the podcast, so that's
It's time for evolution.
yeah, no. And like I was telling you offline, it's been 2 years that we've been podcasting with different material, and it's like the first time that we have proper microphones with an audio mixer and a webcam, and you actually did the testing for us, so thanks for that.
No worries, pleasure. We keep trying until we get the best out of everything, right?
Yeah. Gary, would you like to tell people a bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm a musician since the age of 4.
Oh.
I started music in kindergarten,
Mm-hmm.
playing flute, and then at the age of 6, my parents enrolled me in Conservatoire de Musique
Yeah.
to learn music in a music school. I was learning how to read and write music scores, playing the recorder like most children at
Mhm.
first, and then I was as well singing in a choir. And at the age of 11, 12, I changed instrument. I shifted to drums because it was something more, when you're a teenager, something more rebellious than playing the recorder. So I shifted to drums. A few months later, I joined my first band, so I experienced quite a lot of things at an early age
Mm-hmm.
involving music. And I was so into music that I wanted to stay in music and find ways how to make a living out of it. And then the more I grew up, I discovered that there's audio engineering, there's sound designing, and I was like, oh, that's my way to stay in music. Because like parents told me, when you finish school, you can choose to go to be an engineer. Like I was doing graphics,
Mm-hmm.
so it's design and all that studies
Yeah.
to become a graphic designer, web designer. But I was like, no, I want to do music. But they don't really know themselves what are the opportunities you can have if you do music. And then as everybody, like we did our research, I was looking for further studies and ended up doing audio engineering, sound designing. That's how I came here today to explain about how I'm using music and sound in my life, like every day, and helping others as well.
Yeah, and just for people to know, so you actually took 1 hour to do to do a setup. That's how.
Yeah, it's always like that, like
Yeah.
even if I'm home setting up my own gear, and my wife's like, "Oh, you're gonna play?" She'll come and sit down. Then in the end, she spends 1 hour seeing me testing, plugging my gear. She's like, "I'm going to cook because you still haven't started." And it's how I like to try. We want to make sure everything works. Because even if she's there looking at me rehearsing, I want her to have the best experience I can give musically.
Yeah.
And a show. If not, in the middle of playing, I can just switch off everything and like, oh no, it doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
So yeah, we take our time.
Mm-hmm. So you will say that you like perfecting things.
Not really perfect, because I don't think perfection can be achieved. But the best of things, yeah. Because with what we have, we can try to get the best out of something.
Are you the kind of musician who would play like one piece multiple times till it really sounds the way you want it to sound?
No, because every time I would play the same
It will be
piece.
different.
Yes. Unless I'm playing a music score, which is different. Because you have to read the score and play exactly as it is.
Yeah.
But still, you will do this one little thing. You will add this one signature of yours as a musician once in a while.
Yeah, because I learned to play drums too.
Okay.
And I know there are some teachers who like give you the
Score.
and then you need to play according like that, so you become like a sort of robot. You just do exactly what's on the sheet.
Yeah.
But when I learned, it was more about the feeling. So you know the beat, and then you try to feel the beat. Let's say. So it was a different.
Indeed. it's two different things because it depends on teachers as well. I've been a teacher since 2006, teaching drums and music. Most of my students nowadays, they just want to play drums for fun and to get their mind off school homework. So they don't really care much about reading scores. They just want to play drums.
Yeah.
And I need to cater for that because I want them to love the instrument and love playing drums, not to feel like, oh, this is like school. I have to read this, homework that, and it becomes bulky. I don't want drums to be something they feel it's heavy.
Yeah.
So most students, it's their call. Like I let them choose. You want to learn how to read drum scores, I'll teach you that. But if you want to learn how to play right away, listening a song, I'll teach you that as well. Because I'm a teacher, I will teach what you want to learn.
Yeah.
I don't try to impose on students.
That's cool. But
you need to get the basics right at least, because like anything is like learning ABCD.
Yeah.
So an instrument same. You need to get these basics right before you try to go and run and do everything you want with drums.
Yeah, and the one thing I realized with drums is if you learn the wrong thing and you practice it for a long time, it's very hard to correct it afterwards.
Indeed.
Yeah, and all right, I've got a question for you.
Yes, sure.
Okay, if you want to be a drummer, do you think that it's linked somehow to your personality? Because for me, I'm a big introvert, all right? And when I started to play drum, without realizing it, when you think about the drummer, he or she's in the background, so not the front person. And the drummer is the kind of person who actually accompanies the whole thing, so kind of guides the piece. And at the same time, you can be the introvert because you're in the background and you can be doing your thing and get carried away, and you're not directly facing the crowd, let's say, like the singer. So do you think there is a link between your personality as an introvert? I don't know whether you're an introvert, but I'm just speaking about myself. Do you think being an introvert kind of fits the idea of being a drummer, or do you think that's just me thinking about that?
I mean, there's a lot of factors that can define that, because it's true you're at the back, but at the same time, once in a while you get to do a solo.
Yeah.
So you have the spotlight, and whatever people say, like you're the heartbeat of the band, you're the metronome that keeps everybody. They have to follow your beat.
Yeah, true.
If they don't follow you, like everybody's gonna be in all direction. But at the same time, it's a team spirit, because your beat is inspired by maybe the guitarist or the singer. So everybody kind of communicates through feelings, and you feel that, and that feeling is what creates that chemistry bands have. This is one thing. Another thing is it's really work, because there are bands that are together to work. We studied music, we need a music sessionist. So you have this drummer who comes, okay, what do I play? Okay, this. Okay, guitarist plays this. It's a job, so they come and do their job, and I don't know if then the drummer feels he's introvert or not, or if this is counted. And there's so many things influencing the drummer. So to answer your question, I think it doesn't really matter if you're an introvert and it led you to play drums or not, because you have drummers who sing.
Yeah, that's true.
You can play drums and sing. You have drummers who are like, I've been recently for a few years studied DJ drumming. DJ drumming is about a drummer who's just a drummer performing alone on stage. So he's the one man band. He's the only guy. Everything. And he's a drummer. So you have drummers who just want to be there and this is me, and just play, feel free and share that feeling of freedom to people. Because I don't know, like you say you're an introvert and you play drums, but do you feel free when you play drums? I
think so. Actually, that was going to be, let's say, the next thing about drumming. I've realized that it's something very physical.
It's a sport.
Yeah, I mean, your hands hurt, especially if you've been playing rock music, let's say.
Yeah, even if you play double bass, you both
That's
you're running.
yeah, it is an exercise, and to me, I don't play guitar, so I can't compare. But I think every time I've played, I was the one who got more carried away by the music, let's say. So, for example, last time we played "Sad But True" at school, and at the end of the piece, I was like all pumped. I wanted to kind of smash the drums, and I've realized that it's something really physical when you play drums. And what I like is you have that blank moment, like you're playing for the crowd, but once you start like hitting the drum, you forget everything. You could actually close your eyes and just
You're in
be
the zone.
Yeah, you're in the zone. So that's actually, I wanted to talk to you especially about that, because I know we've discussed offline about how music can be like a sort of therapy, right?
Yeah.
So do you think it has the power to... Okay, we know it can get people into different states, like just like we said, zoning out. But do you think it has the power to help people like come out of, let's say, anxiety, stress, or something which is deep inside, and it's so like it heals you, let's say?
There's that saying forever that says music heals.
Yeah.
So it has to do with a lot of things, because music, there are frequencies as well, and something people don't really emphasize until the recent few decades, where people started to understand, okay, music is not just music. It has to do with frequencies. There's music in these frequencies, there's music in those frequencies. If you feel sad, listen to this hertz of music. Even me, I studied music but never got to learn about music therapy. I've heard it from friends who are doing maybe videos, and they're like, hey bro, did you hear about music therapy? I'm like, no. And then we started discussing, and then I noticed, like, one of my friends, he told me there's binaural beats. So I started researching on that, and at one point I realized, okay, music is not just music. It's much more. It's those frequencies that can heal people, can get you angry. Because I always wondered, like, people listening to metal music. I've been into metal for a few years.
That's cool.
But when I tell people I've been in metal, like, oh, you must have been a rebel, a bad guy. I'm like, bro, I've played in a symphonic orchestra for like 5 years, playing classical music as well. So how do you explain that? So it's about playing Mozart in an orchestra, and once you're done with orchestra, you're playing, I don't know, like Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, or metal music with another band, and suddenly you end up playing jazz. And I've been experimenting with all kinds of music. And to me, it's just frequencies that attracted me at one point. When people tell me, oh, you're a drummer of what? I'm just a drummer. What do you play? Everything. I play drums. It's on the spot. If we start jamming and you play, I don't know, you start playing samba, I'll be playing samba music, because that's the groove. If you start singing randomly, I'll play randomly, and the beat doesn't define itself. And same if somebody is anxious. For example, at one point of my life, I was teaching in Malaysia, because that's where I studied, and parents sent their kids to me without telling me their kids had some issues, like kids with I don't know how you call that. They have a few, not to say mental issues, but they can't focus. You
have certain learning challenges, let's say.
Yes. They didn't inform me, so at one point I thought these kids are just mischievous. But then at one point, when this started opening up to me, the kids, I could see, okay, something is different. Then my approach of teaching turns differently, and music heals them in a way. I realized not teaching them drums like play this, play that. No, it's here are the drumsticks, do what you want to do, and he'll hold the drumsticks and start singing. Like it's a microphone, and he's happy about that. So this is a way where music for him is doing this impact on this guy, you know, like he's 10 years old, he wants to sing through the drumsticks instead of playing.
Yeah.
Or he just asks me, you play drums and I'll dance. I'm like, you sure? Yeah, I want to dance. I'm like, okay, so I play some random doop 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 doop, and he will be like dancing. And then it made me understand, okay, music eventually has different effects on people. And I experimented with so much, like if you're angry, you'd go listening to metal, you know, you won't go listening to slow music. Or maybe if you're the heartbroken kind of guy, you go listen to songs to cry, or I don't know. If
I would actually say if your heart is broken, you need to listen to metal to heal.
It depends on people, you know.
Yeah. That's so true. But would you say that music? That's a tricky question. Would you say that music allows you to express things which are already in you, or do you think music changes the way you feel about a certain thing, let's say?
All of that. Music is also everything, you know.
Yeah.
Because you say you're an introvert, but playing drums
is being an extrovert.
You got to push stuff, like you there are things you cannot say with words, because we don't find words to express ourselves. The only way is through music, sound. It's like, I'll take the simple example, a baby doesn't speak yet, but the guy starts screaming and crying, you understand, okay, something's wrong.
Yeah.
He giggles, he's laughing, you know, okay, he's happy. These are sounds.
Yeah.
And they make sounds before learning to speak. And even us, when we learn how to speak, if someone's hurt, the first thing they go is like, ow!
Yeah.
Ow is not written in, I don't know. It's a sound.
Yeah, it's a sound, yeah.
You know, so there's sounds, and they all affect us in a way, like how we express ourselves, how we want to express feelings or different emotions. They go through sound.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
There is a lot of stigma attached to heavy metal music, like you said, and I mean, even me, I've been listening to heavy metal since the age of 11. Let's say Iron Maiden, Fear Factory, Metallica, the whole thing. I've listened to everything. There's only one band I can't listen to, and that's Manson.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't know. There's something which kind of repels me about the guy. So, but that's just me. I'm not saying his music is uncool, but to me it has to be intellectual. And I'll give you an example. For example, when Metallica did "And Justice for All," if you look at the lyrics, it makes you think, right? If you look at the song "One," for example, which is about war, you read the lyrics. It's really deep stuff. And now, if you've listened to Saint Anger, I don't know whether you've listened to it, the whole album is about raw anger. Okay, so if you're going through like a midlife crisis, let's say, which men usually get around the age of 35, where you start to question everything, it's like the perfect album to... It's music, but it was created in the studio in such a way that it wasn't made to sound good. I mean, when you listen to the album, I don't know whether you listen to it, it's very raw. The drumming, it's pure anger. But with the lyrics, when you listen to the lyrics, it's amazing. Like
whole package.
No, it's as if you have to explain to someone what anger is, you just listen to the music. You
feel it.
You feel the anger. And to me, it's not like I listen to it, I'll get angry. When I listen to the music, in my mind, all the things which make me angry just kind of comes up. And I leave them in my head again. And in a way, I'm able to vent when I listen to it. So I listen to it when I'm running or I'm doing exercise. And that physical effort you're doing, your head is as if exercising also. And kind of going through all these angry things and then pouring them out. And it's amazing. And I mean, people will say that's aggressive music, it's not good and all that, but you've got all that anger in you. And if you've listened to the album, it talks about healthy anger. So you've got the anger in you and you need to find a way to kind of keep it healthy, meaning don't vent it on someone else, but you need to take it out. So the whole album is about that. And to me, that's how music can really be powerful, to help you go through these things, because the more you keep these emotions inside,
you burst.
yeah, it's not good for you.
I agree, because a lot of my students, when they, let's say they had a bad day, they'll come to drums, they'll be like, "Hi sir, can I just go on drum?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And they'll just express themselves. Then they'll drum their heart out for like 5-10 minutes. Then I'll be like, "So how was your day?" And then they start opening, you know, and they will tell me they had a bad day, this teacher screamed at them, or I don't know, boyfriends or girlfriends issues, and they'll just open up. And to me, music like has been the bridge. Like, okay, maybe that kid is shy to express himself or herself before starting with music, because they just had to let it out somehow, you know.
Yeah.
And it's not only drums; it's any instruments.
Yeah.
Because even me, I remember when I've been a drummer for all my life, but when I reached the romantic kind of moment, I would pick up a guitar and I would start picking some melodies and start composing some nice music with guitar picking, you know. It's like a ballad thing. I don't imagine myself, you know, like you try to charm a girl, you go and play guitar. How do you do that with drums? Like, hey! And what kind of beat can you make to express love? You know, like, I've wondered about that. So it's easier to pick up a guitar and express that. But if you're angry, you can do that on the guitar as well. But it's even more expressive on drums. I don't know. There's so much things.
Yeah, unless you play the bossa nova on the drum.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not that aggressive. It's actually it's one of the things I learned in like the first lessons of drums, playing the bossa nova.
But like you were mentioning earlier, like why you have that stigmatization of people. Hey, you listen to metal, you're a bad guy. I think it has to do with how people are educated through music. Because I've been playing metal for so long, and I love listening to classical music. One of my favorite composers to listen to is Tchaikovsky. I love what he's composed for over the years. Once in a while I'll be home and blasting his tracks, because I love orchestral music as well, opera music. Imagine you're angry and you hear the guy like, oh, and you're like, yeah. It's opera. It's not even metal music, but the energy released.
It's very powerful.
Exactly. It's that powerful energy that drives me. It's for music. I mean, there's so many different types of music nowadays. Even you have a genre called noise. Even in Japan, like you have just a bass and a drummer going like shh, it's just noise, and people they are like wow, they are into it. It's a sport. They get to go out and exercise, you know, like jump. That's sport. Same like I used to remember my friends telling me let's go clubbing. I'm like, yeah, but they just play techno music. I'm like, yeah, okay, let's go for sport. It's sport. You just go to and at the end of the night, you're like, okay, I've been working out. Yeah, it's true. You've been releasing because you had a whole week. Then I understood why people after a whole week, they're tired, they go clubbing. It's to release, man. It's just to let go. No more work. No more work. Remove everything. And they have those gestures, which it's expressive. People are in their zone where they might not be metalheads. They might not listen to orchestral music. Techno is the thing they comprehend. Okay, let's release everything. But every genre of music, I realize that's what we've been talking about. How it impacts people of all kinds. You know, like they want to run away from a certain monotonous routine, and that's why any genre, any types of music they'll find an escape to. They just go, okay, there's this gig there I'm going, there's this event there I'm going. They just need that escape zone to just.
Do you think that's a culture of techno or pub where they have these parties where they get drunk and then they dance to the music till very late? So maybe that's a sort of culture.
Again, like, to come back to the stigmatization, if you listen to metal, you're a bad guy. If you go to techno, you're getting drunk. I mean, people listening to classical music drink wine.
Yeah, true. No, but there is that idea of partying till late and getting drunk.
It depends on people, honestly.
But they do that in metal too, anyway, when you go
in
to...
any gig.
Yeah, in any gig, they do all sort of crazy things.
Yeah, because I've been to any types of gigs just to experiment, because I love music of all kinds.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to operas, classical events, jazz events, to blues events, rock and roll, techno, psytrance, underground, upperground, anything, you know. Because I love to study the evolution of how this music is impacting everybody, how it's happening, how do they feel music, and I can blend anywhere, because I love music. I see it as frequencies, you know. So I try to fine tune myself in those frequencies and understand, okay, it has this impact. To drink or not to drink, or how people take whatever they do, it's up to them. It's individually. Like, there are people who go, it's like smokers, you know, like I smoke cigarettes, you don't smoke cigarettes, or whoever wants to smoke, it's their choice. I go to a party, I will drink tea, I'll drink, I don't know, coffee. It depends on people, honestly. It has so much, because parties, they have to do with some music business as well, you know, people promoting their food, their drinks.
Yeah.
So it's different elements together. But if we talk about the music itself and the impact on people, let's say if they want to drink, maybe they want to feel that tickle in their head to connect more, you know, because sometimes people need a little help, you know, to just connect there. I don't know. That's what I've been seeing and experimenting for so long. Even in, just sharing, like, for example, in an orchestra, I usually see brass players playing trumpet or saxophone or trombone, having a little flask of whiskey. So that's their thing.
Keep them warm.
But not only that, it helps them with the when they blow in the instrument, because it helps them in a way, I don't know, like it has a chemical reaction to how they will perform. And same, like, people always stigmatize how to say, like, metalheads drinking, but some of them, they drink to really get in that zone where they're like, okay, I don't care about anything, I'm gonna express myself. And you have the punk movement expresses that really well. They will drink on stage and really say everything they have to say. And the same goes for people who listen to reggae.
Yeah.
We all know the stigmatization and reggae. Oh, this guy, he had
Weed
something,
smokers.
And that's why he's playing like this. He's chill. But I mean, like, if you walk on street, you see someone chill. What, you're gonna say this guy just smoke? It's just like the education is wrongly done sometimes, I think, because we put badges on people like this without really trying to understand. And that's why I say I went to so many events and gigs to understand, like why people do this, why they're like that. But like I just mentioned earlier, everybody, when they're tired of that routine they have, they escape. And when they escape, some people, like yoga, you know, when people sometimes meditate, some people will tell you, okay, in India, some people, they need to smoke to enter the nirvana, and that's why we also want to do that. And some people, they don't do any of those, they just meditate deeply, they don't eat. How many people can stay without food for like a few days and meditate and really be like, I experienced that. For 1 week I didn't eat and I felt dizzy and there's so many things, but still frequencies again. Like I just mentioned yoga. I usually realize they have bells. Sound of bells is really important to get you in that zone. And when you have that bell, it's just that bell. It's nothing else around. You know, like there's just quiet nature sound and that tong,
Put you
and
in
this
the zone.
vibration connects to you.
Yeah.
You have the same thing with Indian music with there's some drone always going on, you know, like
Yeah, with the sitar maybe.
no, it's
Yeah?
some kind of drone they call it. It's a constant frequency, like
Oh, okay.
and then everything is gonna
It's like in the background.
yeah, and there's different types of frequencies that actually attracts people and get to them. So yeah, music, sound, frequencies, so much going on, you know.
You actually hit on something very interesting. So you're saying that people need to escape like this sort of reality,
Yeah,
and it can be through music, it can be through yoga, it can be watching Netflix for hours. It can be anything actually.
it is.
Metal also could have that effect also. Like you're fed up with everything, you're going to listen to angry music. But to me, it's been like the reverse. I don't know whether it's just me, but to me, metal is like looking at reality the way it is. Because if you look at the music itself, it's into your face, right? And if you look at the lyrics, they're not trying to, I mean, depending on who you're listening to. So I'm using as reference maybe Fear Factory and Metallica now, because these are the two bands I listen to. So it's into your face, and it's about things maybe you don't want to discuss, violence, war, betrayal, and all those things. And it's raw. So it's like it is, okay? And the feelings you have is anger, but when you listen to a full piece, it's not just like angry music from start to finish. For example, if you listen to the song One, it has its melodic part where there's a sort of sadness, and then you have that peak of anger, and then it becomes sadness again. And sometimes it's very beautiful, but it's a mixture of all these emotions, and it's not like one thing going on and on, a bit like techno, you know. It makes you feel like a range of emotions, which to me is realistic, because that's how life is. It's a range of emotions. So in that sense, I don't see it as an escape, but I see it as like if I listen to it, I close my eyes, I'm going to get all these memories of the things which maybe the music is kind of pulling from my brain, sort of. So to me, it's a sort of therapy. Now, you can say, no, it's not good if that music is making you think of bad things.
Depends on people.
Yeah, but you know, if you look at it from a psychological point of view, let's say, there's actually an exercise which is called a Stoic exercise, meaning it's a sort of visualization which Stoics did a long time ago. And what they do is to make their mind become strong. They think about the worst things which happen in their life, so they meditate on that. So you think about the worst things which happen to you every day. You think about it, you let these emotions of sadness, if you want to cry, anything you feel, you let it go. And if you do it every day, you become more and more used to it. So you're more used to that traumatic thing which happened to you, and you start to master your emotions. So the way you build your character is that if something like that happens to you again, you're just going to live through it easily. So I think metal does that sort of thing to me personally, because every time I listen, I'm reviewing those things which happened to me. And it could be like, I know we're going to talk a bit more about trauma, but I'll just tell you something personal. Like when I was born, I had epilepsy, right? And I was on medication for 15 years. And it's something my father usually tells people, you know, my son went through it because he listened to music. And music helped him to build that sort of resilience. Now, I'm not really sure what really happened to my brainwaves when I was listening to metal since the age of 11 or 10. But what I can tell you is that I have a sort of resilience or determination, a bit like the riff you listen in metal, like that fierce sort of hammering and determination. I have that. So when bad things happen to me, it's as if I'm living a metal song, you know. So it doesn't break me. It
It
just
gives you
that
confidence.
no, I can actually I sort of feel that I can suck that negative energy. I actually become more powerful when bad things happen to me. It's as if bring it on. It's no, it's true.
Yeah,
it's very
I
strange.
believe you. I believe you.
But
You
it's
do
as
that,
if it's as if I'm drumming actually. Like
Yeah,
bring
yeah.
it on. It's yeah, I'm
I'm
here.
up for it.
Yeah. So I don't know whether it's something in you which metal kind of brought out, or is there a sort of rewiring which happens when you listen to metal? What would you say about that? Because you've got something similar
Yeah.
to talk about.
It's like how you mentioned metal music effect on you, and this is your thing.
Yeah.
To me, I won't say necessary metal, because what you feel, I get it with Sega music,
Mm.
because it's straight in my face.
Yeah.
It's like Sega music to me is like, bro, this is happening. This is what we live. This is what our ancestors.
The lyrics are
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Oh
and
man.
it's facts.
Yeah.
To me,
yeah.
music is as well educational, whether it's metal, because I've learned a lot through metal music as well,
Mm.
of what's happening in the world. To me, listening to music is like listening to the news,
Yeah.
but through the mouth of artists,
Mhm.
instead of people who are working on a TV station or radio station.
Yeah.
Because music is informative. There's so much information going on. There's so much education happening.
Mhm.
If you know how to, like Bob Marley said, if you listen carefully, now you will hear. I always love this quote because it's true. If you listen, you will hear.
Yeah.
So you need to know what you want to listen to. So when you listen to metal, you know what you're looking for there.
Yeah.
You know why you want to listen to these bands, and these frequencies, they are connecting to you,
Yeah.
because it has to do with some your biological state, your chemical state. Everything's is a whole, you know. And when you get in sync, to you, metal was that sync
Yeah.
that got you, okay, this is my confidence. I know who I am. Ain't nobody gonna tell me now what I have, who I am, what I should do. No, you became your own master, and this is where you solve your own.
Mm.
Like, you took destiny in your hands. You're like, no, I know what I want to be. I know what I'm gonna do, and you meditate on that every day. Same like you told me, you meditate on the worst things to strengthen you. That's what you did.
Mm.
Like, I want to be strong. I don't want to be weak. So what do? Okay, this is the solution. Let's do it. And you did it. And metal accompanied you. Yeah, I'm gonna do this thing. Yeah, I'm gonna be strong.
Mm.
And here you are today, and we are speaking.
Yeah.
And we all go through tough things in life. You know, we're going right now, all of us together worldwide, through tough situations.
Mm.
But everybody's listening to music every day.
Yeah.
There's music accompanying us every time. Yeah. And hopefully we're gonna get through that. Like, humans have always find ways. We have always, come on, we've been here for so long, we find ways. And one thing that I'm always impressed, music has been here for so long. There's only 7 notes. A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Yeah. True. That's so true.
And how many songs have been made through these 7 notes? Come on, like, you can't count that.
Yeah.
It's too many genres made out of 7 notes. Every culture shares those 7 notes.
It's amazing.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a bit like math. It's like universal.
it is.
It is actually
It is
math.
math,
You
yeah.
do count and you do all those things. Gary, to finish today, do you have like a sort of story you can tell, which maybe is personal, about how music was a therapy for you or for someone close
Yeah.
to you?
I'll share this story with you. I actually went to study, like I told you, in Malaysia from 2010 to 2015,
Mm-hmm.
2016, and in 2016 my sister calls me while I'm working
Mm-hmm.
on an event doing sound. She's like, hey bro, we have bad news. I'm like, what up? She's like, dad had an accident, went into a coma, you need to get back home. I'm like, okay. So in 1 week I pack up everything, I take a flight back to Mauritius. During this 1 week I train myself. It's okay, you're gonna see your dad, he's not gonna be talking to you because he's in a coma.
Mm.
You're gonna be strong for family because I'm the only guy left in the family, like the after my grandfather, my father, then there's me.
Mm.
So I have to be here for my mom, my sister, my
Yeah.
grandma. train myself. But once I get there, I see my dad, I can't help it. You know, I burst into tears. I'm like, oh man, like this guy, he's there. What's happening? What's going on? And the doctor said he's in a coma. He fell from the first floor straight on his head. His health is okay, nothing broken, nothing bad. Like he's in good health. He's unconscious.
Yeah.
He's in a coma. I'm like, okay, so what can be done? Nothing. We just need to wait for him to get back his consciousness. I'm like, okay. So all we have to do is wait. She's like, yeah. How long it's gonna take? No one knows. So my mom then gets this idea, because my mom has always been like thinking like, what can we do? And you know, like my dad's there in the hospital. Everyday people like come, family, they come and they're like, oh, that's sad. Yeah, he was a good man. Oh, that's sad. One by one every day. And my mom is like, this is killing me.
Yeah.
And this vibe, this frequency, like, oh, that's sad. He was
Makes you more
a good
angry.
man. She's like, we have to do something about that.
Yeah.
I'm like, what can we do? She's like, wait, I'm gonna ask the doctor. So she went to the doctor and she's like, doctor, my son did sound studies. Can you allow us to do sound therapy with my husband? And the doctor's like, oh yeah, sure, that's a good idea. You can try, we never know.
Yeah.
So first thing my mom's like, okay, after visiting hours, let's go home. And I had my gears, I had a sound card, I had like mics. We went back home. I'm like, okay mom, so what we're gonna do is recreate the whole scene of when dad wakes up. Every morning when he wakes up, so we stay in Saint-Pierre, there's a church bell ringing at 6. You have the azan on the other side of the street. You have birds and you have all that. And I created the sound design of that. And I looked as well for frequencies that can help to how to say, to connect with people on a certain level, to keep them like, there's a rope I'm sending to you, hang on there, I'm gonna pull you. That kind of frequency, you know. So I put this frequency there in the background. I put birds. I put the church bell sound, ding, ding. And then I give the mic to my mom and she's like, it's time to wake up. Hello. And she speaks to my dad like this. It's time to wake up now. We need you. Your kids need you. I'm here waiting for you. We're waiting for you. Get back. And she starts singing, and then same like my dad would listen to the radio in the morning. So my mom told me, put this song there, put this song, let's add this song. I'm like, okay. The visiting hours are 1 hour. So we make 1 hour sessions. And we put that on a phone. My mom went to buy headsets, you know, and it's funny because she goes to the store, she's like, hi, I need the best headsets you ever have. And I'm like, okay. She buys headsets, get the songs on the phone. We're in the car driving there, and she's testing, she's listening. She's like, yeah, this is gonna work, this is gonna work. And we go to the hospital, she puts that on her head. People come like, oh, he was a good man, and he doesn't hear all that because he has this thing in his in ears now. He can't listen to in a bubble,
insulated. From
that's what my mom wanted to do, and my dad now is in this bubble of sound. And this, like, I think the same day or two, like 1 or 2 days, like it was quite quick. He started blinking. He started blinking. And the doctor came, she was like, your husband, he blinked his eyes. My mom burst into tears. She was like, it's working, let's make another one, come on. We went home, we had like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 sessions, like where we recorded a whole hour, and we did this therapy with him every day. In the morning we went, during lunch, during afternoon, evening hours. So every time we went to see my dad, we would put that, and they started communicating with blinks. So she would be like, 1 blink for no, 2 blinks for yes, and that's all he started to do because he couldn't move. He's been there, his consciousness just came back, and all he can do is like blink. And we were like, yes, we own that. It's working, you know, and sounds, music, frequencies. We brought him through these memories of what he knows, what he remembered, and every time my mom would grab the mic and she would be the one leading, like she's the lead singer of this gig, you know. She's gonna talk to him. She's like a radio DJ at that moment. She's like, come back and here's your song. This song is for you. The song is playing. 2 tracks of his favorite tracks. And at the point, even he couldn't move. He blinked his eyes. You saw tears, and it was really deep, really deep. And this happened from June. Like my dad was in a coma in June. He opened his eyes, I think, in end of June. And July, August, September. By September, he was home.
Whoa.
He was home by September. Still not fully, like, cause he just woke up. So he's trying to find his movements back. He went through physiotherapy, all this therapy stuff. But now he's home. He's not the same. He's not the same guy, but he's conscious. He can speak. He can recognize all of us. It's fair enough. I mean, we're here for him now as well. He's been here all our life, and now it's our turn to be here, so we're here.
Does he tell you how he was able to hear those things and how that helped him to come out?
He can't describe them. He I don't know. He doesn't find ways to describe that, but he's like, I know you were here. Like I felt you were there. I know you guys were there. And physically, even if we touch him, we were here. But his brain, like, this is the CPU of everything. If you're sick, you tell your brain, hey, I'm sick. Get me on track. And to me, I believe like your brain will tell you, okay, go rest. I'll do the work. We need to rest to give all the energy, because our brain needs to multitask. As a drummer, I realize what multitasking is. And it's true, we multitask a lot. So you imagine, like, you need to move this finger. Your brain needs to process all of that at the same time. So I'm talking to you, my hands are moving. How it's happening? You know, and same like my dad, in his brain, when he fell on his head, to me, I imagine like a CPU, you're working, your hard disk has a shock. And you need to get the needle back on the disk for it to read. And then when it gets back, there's some part scratched. This is you cannot recover. So there's some parts which cannot be recovered, but there's another part where we manage to reprogram again. Like that's why you have the physiotherapy thing, how to walk. He can't walk like us normally. He will walk like a penguin guy. I make fun of it, but to him it's normal. It's okay, because it's better than he's walking or not walking. You know. And to me, it's not really making fun of him, but it's kind of to make him understand life is fun. No matter what happens, it's we need to look at the fun side, because life is dark as well. You went through all that, the coma and everything. It's been really tough, but now let's laugh about it. You know, because you're here, we're here. You're walking how you can. And again, he's doing the best he can. Like, we did the best we can with the gear we have. It's not perfect. He's not perfect, but hey, come on, we're here. We're making it happen. So this is like part of the story, you know. And music really helped, like frequencies.
And that's like proof for you that it really worked, and you can really connect to it. And
even kids, you know, like sometimes babies cry, parents sing.
And it calms them down.
Parents sing lullabies. The baby doesn't understand words.
But you feel the sound, the love, the
one thing
caring.
I realized, like, why when babies cry they have this high-pitched voice, because the biology of the mom's ears is to detect that frequency, you know, that piercing sound of the wah. She's like alert. So is the dad, you know, like we're both alert. Okay, this is the alarm. Kids crying, it's sound. it's all sounds like I was telling, like if I thanks for the awesome coffee, like I do this. What does it mean?
The sound of satisfaction.
Exactly, it's good coffee, but it's not written in a dictionary like means.
So you can recognize those things, and the way you speak itself, you can feel like the vibration and whether the person is aggressive, whether the person is welcoming, and
fun.
You can feel a lot of things just in the sound of the voice.
But it's the tone.
It's a tone. Yeah.
If you may, I want to share one more thing. Like I've been studying in Malaysia for 6 years, so I had the chance to meet a lot of people. I stayed with Arabs for 2 years. They were speaking Arabic. Just Arabic.
Yeah.
I had friends from Kazakhstan. They were speaking Russian.
Mm-hmm.
I had friends. They're speaking Malay. I was always with different groups of people.
Yeah.
So when I got home, I was living with Arabs. They would speak Arabic, and at one point, I was understanding these guys through sound. Because we have a few words similar.
Yeah.
Like you can, if I say cafe, coffee, you know, okay, this guy means coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with gestures,
Mm-hmm.
so like, he will speak Arabic, and then I would be like, bro, did you just say that? It's like, hey, you understand our language? I'm like, no, but through the sound. So it's the wave that gets in the brain and decodes it into, okay, I think this guy he's saying this without the words, because it's just the waves. Get it? Like
yeah.
You with the gestures, like, okay, I know what you want.
Yeah. So the sound helps to communicate.
Yeah.
Without the words. I mean, you were able to understand without the words.
Yeah, because this happened not only with my Arab friends, but with the Kazakh friends I had, with the Malaysian friends I had. Like at one point, I would, if I really focused, I would start understanding through the sound what they mean. You know when somebody is angry.
Yeah.
So the tone of it, okay, this guy is angry. So if someone is whispering, so again, it's like all these different fluctuations in sound itself. Whether if I'm speaking to you, it's like when you want to make a point, you're gonna like, hey, like this, and this tone it gets to people. Even when I was teaching drums, some kids would be like messing around. I'll be like, hey, and this just this hey will be like, they'll be startled. What have I done? But it's fun,
Yeah.
So wide. Like just music, sounds, frequencies, and the world.
Yeah, amazing. Thanks, Gary. It was
pleasure.
It was a great conversation. We spoke a lot, yeah. So hopefully we can have another one quite soon.
Pleasure.
Just to continue that awesome
Thanks a lot
discussion.
for having me and allowing me to share what I've been doing.
No, it was really interesting, especially the personal story you mentioned.
Thank you. But quickly, like we know each other from me teaching drums in school. Did you ever think, like when you see me teaching drums, can you picture what kind of guy am I? Like drummer, musician? Like if you see me, would you say, oh, this guy is a metalhead, or this guy?
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah. From my observation of observing metalheads for more than a decade, let's say, there's a sort of introversy, let's say. For example, metalheads are not loud. They don't like talking loud and talking a lot. They prefer not talking a lot.
We do that in the gigs.
but they talk a lot among themselves.
Yeah.
But they're usually shy, maybe, and they like doing their own thing. And you're that kind of person. But when metalheads, let's say, smile, it's like a genuine smile.
Yeah.
So they usually don't fake emotions, I would say. I don't know whether it's a sort of intensity which they get from the sort of music they listen to. Because the music is all about going out, but the personality is like really in settle. It's very different from the kind of music you listen to, because you have the other type of people who are very extrovert, but it's strange, right? I mean, it's like a different sort of effect on you. Like people
Yeah.
used to tell me you listen a lot to heavy metal, and then you feel so calm and nice and cool.
Yeah, we are actually.
Yeah.
We're very nice people.
But what we can say is it doesn't make you aggressive people like people usually say. That's a fake. That's a fake notion.
Yeah, but getting to know people individually is the best thing.
Yeah.
Like how we said, people stigmatize. Don't stigmatize, because you can see a metalhead in a bus standing up to give his seat to an elderly person.
Which is what we do usually.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I used to go to school with a mohawk on my head.
Yeah.
People would be like, look at this guy's head, he has a mohawk, and people would be scared because that's how they program people, to be scared of things like me.
Yeah.
But then I'll be the first guy to stand up in the bus to give my seat to an elderly person.
Yeah.
Or a woman who's with bags, tired.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I think let's end on metal itself.
Yeah.
So I think the whole philosophy of metal is you do what you think is right and to hell with people, if I don't want to use any bad word. So this is what it's all about. So you do what you think is right and to hell with people. And it's not like doing bad things and to hell with people, it's like doing what you think is right.
I mean, we do bad things. Like, what do you consider bad?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Are we the only one?
Yeah.
Or is it just because we're dressed in black and wearing chains? I mean, this is our way to say we own our life.
Yeah.
We own ourselves.
Yeah.
This is the meaning to be behind being a metalhead.
The next podcast is going to be about being a metalhead. What's the philosophy of it?
Thanks so much again for having me.
Yeah, thanks, Gary. Cool.
Cheers. Bye, everyone.
Stop.